Hey guys, today we're going to help you find the perfect scotch for you. Today we're tasting Bruichladdich Wee Laddie Pack.
So as you know from our first ever whiskey tasting video, we are huge fans of Bruichladdich, and they happened to send over this new Wee Laddie Pack, which is basically, there are 3 whiskeys that if you're going to try them for the first time, these would be the ones to try. This is the perfect accessory for any guy's night. So you have those people that are like, oh, I don't like scotch, and they think all scotch is smoky. Well, 2 of these are not smoky at all, unpeated. And one of these is very, very heavily peated. So you're gonna really find out what you like when you're trying these 3. And basically we're gonna try them side by side right now and kind of get into it. And if you guys don't mind, I'm probably gonna give you a lot of history, so I might get a little boring, but bear with me because I swear to God, it's super, super interesting.
So basically George is gonna spit knowledge about Bruichladdich.
So inside the box, you get 3 bottles of whiskey and this little pamphlet which pretty much explains all the information I'm about to give you. But it's a cool page, gives you a little history of the island, a little history of the distillery, kind of all about their mantra as a distillery. And I'm going to tell you all of this right now, so if you guys don't like to read, watch this video. So pretty much the first thing that you need to know about Bruichladdich is all of their barley is grown on Scotland. And you would think, you know, Scotch, everything comes from Scotland. No, you can buy barley from Canada, you can buy barley from Japan, you can buy barley from America. You can get barley from pretty much anywhere, and it does go into a majority of scotches that are made in Scotland. And another thing they like to do, if you guys are wine drinkers at all and know anything about terroir, pretty much it's the way the dirt makes the grape taste in wine. So when you get a California red, it tastes different than a East Coast red wine because of the dirt, the soil, the climate. All of that affects how everything tastes. So Bruichladdich wanted to play with that a little bit. So their flagship whiskey, the classic Laddie, this is all Scottish barley. So all this barley was grown on Scotland. And you're like, yeah, you said that like Scotland, Scottish barley, got it. So this is one version of it. And then they do make the same exact whiskey with just barley grown on the little island of Isla where their distillery is. So this is miles from Scotland. This Isla is actually closer to Ireland. So I'm gonna have Blake start pouring these out. So basically you go 3 across. So this guy in the first one, this guy in the second one, and this guy in the third. Okay. So I'll continue talking while Blake is pouring. And the last one is, if you guys like Smoky Scotch, the Port Charlotte is heavily peated. It's very, very smoky. So if you guys are smoke fans, this would be the one to try first, even though I would recommend trying them in this order because Smoky Scotch kind of wrecks your palate for non-smoky Scotch. We're gonna taste these 2 side by side. Not just because you didn't pour me any over here, but so we're gonna taste these 2 side by side, and what you're gonna look for in this is the difference that, you know, being grown on one small island right next to the ocean versus being grown on a country.
So obviously the water is going to affect the way this barley is.
Right. So this one you're gonna get a little salt from the sea. You're still gonna get the citrus and the fruity notes that you'll get in here, okay, but this will be more mellow than this one.
All right, so let's start with the first one.
Blue first. Blue. Classic Laddie.
So I'm already a fan of this.
Right.
I've been a fan. It's pretty mellow.
Yeah.
It's not in your face.
So you get a little fruity and floral notes.
Definitely get fruity, definitely. You know what, this is a great introduction to the line that Bruichladdich offers. So if it's your first time trying it, I would go with this, in my opinion.
So next we're gonna go to Isla Barley. And I told you guys that this was grown on Isla, which isn't that big of an island to begin with, but this is, the barley on here, or the barley in here, is actually from one farm on Isla right next to the Atlantic Ocean. So they, like literally, the name of the farm is Rockside Farm. You can go to the farm, you can taste that specific barley, so you'll know what.
So this is single estate?
Yes,
this one?
Exactly.
Wow.
So, cheers. You smell the salt, like it smells like the ocean.
You know what, you're right. It's actually very different than the first. I expected it to be the exact same.
Right, you would think you only change one thing about something, it's not going to change the taste that much.
So the fruitiness is not there now.
No, it's a little more like bitey, like citrus and sour.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because I know that it's near the ocean, but not a salty, but it has like a
little briny.
Yes.
Like this with an oyster, guys. Let me tell you what. So another thing that makes Bruichladdich very interesting is that they don't chill filter their whiskey. And I don't know if any of you guys know what chill filtering does to the whiskey, but basically it takes out kind of all the oil in the whiskey. So when you drop the proof, it'll still look clear when you add water to it. So if you add water to this, guy, it's gonna get a little cloudy. And most distilleries don't like that because they think it makes the whiskey look bad. But Bruichladdich keeps their proofs high and keeps the oils in there. So actually, if you add water to your whiskey, you'll see like a gold band where the water separates. Also, the oils in the whiskey, you know that burning feeling you get when you swallow normally with whiskey? You don't get that with that because the oil kind of coats your throat.
You're right.
So you didn't notice that at all, like no burn, no like you didn't have to cough afterwards.
You're right, yeah. So you're definitely right. And
yes. So when you're trying whiskey, it's definitely good to try good whiskey, or I mean at least whiskey that's done right. And I can vouch for these guys that they are doing things the old-fashioned way and they're doing it right. So let's go on to Port Charlotte, which is the smoky whiskey. Like definitely there's the heat in there.
So can I just say one thing? When I poured this last one, Port Charlotte, it was apparent that it was going to be. I mean,
you felt the power?
Yeah, it's gonna pack a punch.
Yes. So this one brings like, it smells like a barbecue, like the backyard of a.
And you know what?
A southerner's house, you know.
The backyard of a good barbecue. This smells
yeah.
delicious. So I think this is, to me, this is more inviting than of the three.
Yeah.
Just by smelling it.
You like barbecue, huh?
I do love barbecue.
Cheers. So this one, you get the spice. You really taste the spice. You get the caramels. More, I guess, like bourbony aftertaste.
You know what? I feel, yeah, like this is like on a cold winter night. This would be just great. Again, there's no burning feeling when it goes down. Smooth.
And at 100 proof, you wouldn't think that could exist.
Yeah, I mean, I've never experienced it. I'm sure a lot of you haven't.
Okay, guys, so that pretty much wraps up our tasting. I know Blake has only tried this guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Blake, what do you think?
You know, I think I have a new favorite. So I think I do.
Port Charlotte?
Yeah, you know what? Just like the barbecue notes and just smoky, amazing.
So like we said, guys, this makes the perfect gift, the perfect accessory to any guy's night. You know, what better way to just, you know, have a little whiskey tasting with your friends. You get to try 3 different expressions from the same distillery, 2 non-smoky, 1 smoky, so you're gonna please everybody. This is the best gift for your dad, grandpa, best friend, anyone over 21 pretty much. And
yeah. Yourself?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna buy a couple of these. So we'll have a link to this down below. You can definitely check it out. And one more thing before we go, I'm just gonna nerd out a little bit more because I'm a huge fan of the whiskey. So I know I told you these guys do things the old-fashioned way, and I really, really meant it. Basically, the distillery was opened in 1881 and nothing has changed ever since. You go to any of the bigger distilleries, they're making whiskey with computers. These guys are walking around with pencil and paper, doing it the old-fashioned way, tasting everything, knowing when it feels right, not when a computer says it's ready. So if you really want a handcrafted experience, definitely check these guys out. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like us on Instagram, hashtag your pictures, hashtag Gents Lounge, and thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.